Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today we're going to be making a couple of cards using these beautiful countryside animal stamps. And the main inspiration for the project was actually to use the Distress crayons, which I've not used before, so I thought I would have some fun with those as well. So again, I am using these cards that I had made. These are 6x6, and then I had made a layer to go onto the front of the card that's a 1/4 inch smaller, so 1/8 of an inch on each side. So I folded and scored 6 cards and got their layers ready, and then we're going to be working only on the layers at this point. So I'm going to be using my stamp platform for these cards. I really like using this anyway, but I think for something that's such a detailed stamp as this, it's going to be a lot safer to use my stamp platform just in case I don't get it stamped perfectly the first time. So I'm starting off with my little ducky here, and we're centering him up and popping him onto the stamp platform. Now in hindsight, both my sentiment and my actual animal stamps are of the clear photopolymer, so I did in later stamps I actually put the two together, but for this one I'm just doing it one at a time. Don't know why I didn't think of it to start with, but anyway, I did this animal first, then my sentiment, and I'm inking up using my archival ink here, which is a really nice ink for this too. So I wanted to be sure that the ink was going to stay put, and I wanted a really crisp stamp. Now I know a lot of you like to really push down on your stamps, but unless you've got like a textured card, you really don't need to give it a lot of sort of, what does Tim Holtz call it, CPR type stamping. You can see there the stamp came out beautifully. So next I'm going to do my sentiment, and I'm using the Pink by Design Woodland Critters stamp set, and I'm doing Your Quacktastic. I thought that was kind of cute, so I'm just positioning that, and then I'm going to use the lid as per normal, put on my ink and stamp. There it is, and you can see there it's just a really cute little stamp, quite delicate under the duck, so it's just keeping that the main thing. So here I've got my little pig, and you can see that I've put my sentiment on at the same time. So much simpler. Don't know why I didn't think of that in the first place, because they're not close enough to interfere with each other either, so really easy to do. I used a stamp from the same set, and this one says Stinking of You, which I thought was kind of cute to go with a little piglet. And I just think these stamps are really adorable, the little animals. As always, I will put the details of products used on my blog post, so if you're on YouTube, just go to the paragraph below this video, click on show more, and you will find the link to the blog post, which will also have loads of photos as well, so definitely worth a visit. Okay, so now we're on to the next one, and this one, the sentiment came from my pink stamper Punnylicious, or More Punnylicious, and I'm using Hogs and Kisses because he's a little hedgehog, so I thought that was kind of cute. And I think this hedgehog's probably my favourite of the ones that we did. And now on to a horse. I was going to do a sentiment that said hey neighbour, and neigh as in horse's neigh spelling, but I decided I just didn't feel that was relevant a lot of the time. It would be okay if you're doing a new home card, I guess, but I decided to just go a more simple one for that. So we've got Blast Off stamp set here, and I'm using the little bee stamp image, and says Buzzing By with a birthday high. So again, a really cute, these my pink stamper and Pink by Design stamps are really cute for a lot of these sentiments, and I know that they're probably quite hard to get now, but I suspect a lot of you will have them or able to get something pretty similar. So this one is another one of my pink stamper ones, and it says Nuts About You with our lovely little squirrel, and I thought that was kind of cute as well. He's really adorable, and actually these stamps are so beautiful, you really didn't actually need to do a lot with them. You can just see at the bottom there's also a butterfly. I didn't show you stamping him because later when I coloured it I made such a mess that I didn't bother including it. I literally ripped it up, so but you can see there what the butterfly at least looks like stamped. So now we're getting on to the colouring. I've never used these before, so I'm really kind of not knowing how to use them, the first thing I discovered was they don't always go where you want them to. The kind of point of them, you put it down and it's like, mist. I mean, I was kind of going for the mist kind of look, you know, I was deliberately not trying to go within the lines. I was trying to kind of have a more arty, inverted commas, look, but sometimes I didn't intend to miss quite as much. The other thing I noticed was that layering was not so easy. You could do it for so long, but then it kind of got, I guess it's almost like the waxiness of them, that it just didn't sit, the colour didn't really sit on top so easy once you rubbed it in. You could for a little bit, but it wasn't as easy as I would have thought, but that wasn't a problem. It's just me not knowing exactly how to use them. And then the other thing I noticed was that as I layered, it was actually covering up the black of my stamp. So two things I did. One, I buffed it with a cloth, which also took away the issue of it kind of rubbing off later, although I think they do set. And thirdly, I just used my black pen there to just highlight things like the eye and the nose, etc. So here I'm just using two pinks and a grey for our little pig, and literally I sort of have learned a little bit more here, so I'm not layering perhaps quite as much and trying to be a little bit more sensible. It really is a learning curve, and I sort of don't worry about trying to just learn with you guys and showing you kind of where I'm going, you know, wrong and where I go right, and just trying to see, you know, what works and what doesn't. I didn't think that the white worked that well on top. I think it would work really well on a coloured cardstock, like or a craft cardstock, but I'm not sure it really made a lot of difference to softening the colour. I definitely felt like buffing it up worked quite nicely. It kind of allowed me to add a little bit extra colour, like there. It sort of seemed to allow it to start again a little bit, and then just adding that marker did really well. But I think they came out kind of cute. I'm not sure I was in love with what I did, but I quite liked it. I think I could have done better. I think if I was a real artist, I could have made it look fabulous, doing this kind of idea of it smudging out. On here, I just used my Zig Wink of Stella on the wings. I just thought that was kind of cute, just to give it a bit of sparkle. But yeah, no, I was pleased. I was more pleased with some than others. I kind of liked this one, how it turned out. I was quite pleased with this. I didn't dislike any of them, apart from the butterfly, which it was so bad. And I was disappointed about the butterfly, actually, because I really liked how it started out, but then when I smushed the colours, it kind of just made a right mess, which is why I learnt with the pony here, where I had several colours, not to do quite what I did before, which was kind of almost, I've done the lines here, but when I rub them in, I'm trying to keep within the track of each colour, so I'm not over blending the colours with each other too much, because it just smooshed together and made a bit of a mess. As I said before, I understand that they kind of set, but I quite liked because I was rubbing them in, I quite liked buffing it up just to take any excess off, and because I was putting probably more than I needed to down, so I just felt more comfortable giving it a little buff. Plus it just brought the black up a little bit more. By the way, the reason I was doing this multicoloured pony here was because she was meant to be like a unicorn. I mean, clearly no horn, but it was that was kind of in my brain of sort of doing unicorn colours, just as a bit of fun. I thought some little girl would probably quite like a unicorn coloured pony card, so I just thought it was kind of fun. And then just adding a little bit of white highlight here just to accent it, and then I went over with my Wink of Stella. I quite like just adding that white highlight. You can see a little bit on the cheek there and a little bit in the mane. Just added a little extra something, and I just thought that Wink of Stella was really pretty as well. This one I didn't like as much when I'd finished. I used I'm sorry you didn't see it at the beginning, I didn't realise I wasn't filming, but what I realised at the end was I put this dot of white in the eye, and then I went back and did it on all of them because it actually made a real difference. But the this hedgehog and the squirrel there, I used some metallic copper ones of these Distress crayons, and I didn't quite like how I did the squirrels so much, although funnily enough it was my dad's favourite, but you know, I guess each to his own. But the hedgehog was definitely the one that I was most pleased with. I really liked how he turned out with the flicks, and maybe that kind of worked because of his style and the way the colours, although I kind of still mushed them up a bit, you could still see the kind of stripes of colour, so I was really pleased with that. And then we just accented him again with the black for the eyes and the nose, and then went back with a little highlight of this was the Copic white paint that you get, and I just felt that really worked nicely. So then all I did was take my little fronts, I suppose you'd call them, and literally just stuck them down onto the card. I didn't want to put any layers or mats, but if you wanted to, you could do that, and obviously you could put a lot more, but I just wanted to keep it really simple. And then just to be sure, because I was getting yellow on me, so I thought, I suspect I didn't give it enough time because I didn't appreciate at the time that it would set. And then that's the rest of them all stuck down, not sat down, and finished. And I just think that they look really nice. I was really pleased with them actually, although, you know, I think I can do better. For a first time, I was really chuffed, and I'm not sure that this is entirely what they're used for. I'm not really sure what you do with Distress crayons, but I don't think, I can't even say them, Distress crayons, I don't think that you necessarily are meant to colour in this way with them, but I kind of liked the effect. As I say, I think I could have probably done it a little better, but I'm not displeased. So that is it all finished. So I hope you have enjoyed making these cards with me and using these Distress crayons. I hope you like the finished look. I would love, as always, to hear your comments, and of course don't forget to go over to the blog post. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.
I'm a lone wolf, evermore. I run to the mountain far north. I'm a lone wolf buried in the snow. I have nowhere else to go. How did I journey so far into a wasteland?